Bet you can't guess what I'm doing today. Well, if you read the title of this video, you already know. But instead of hiking, we're going bike riding. So I am at Jack's to get my breakfast, as I tend to do. And then I will be heading to Lookout Mountain to meet my friend. And we're gonna do some bike riding on a trail that I've already been hiking on. And that was last year that we went hiking to Sunset Rock from this same trailhead, which I will have that video linked at the end of this one if you haven't seen it. And yeah, very different from what we're doing today, but like the first little portion will be the same trail. But we are gonna continue on, instead of going up the mountain, we're gonna go like kind of the same level across. And yeah, it's gonna be, I wanna say it's a 4-mile round trip, but I'm not 100% sure, I can't remember. But it's like slightly uphill there and then slightly downhill back. So it's also very hot and humid today. I'm probably gonna die. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'll see y'all when we get there. There's the view. You can see the view right from the trailhead. You don't even have to go anywhere. So, this is the trail we're going down. It's been so long since I did my research on it. I should probably look up a map. Just to be safe. I know where we're going, I think. We're just gonna go. If we have trouble, we'll stop and look it up. Because we're on Lookout Mountain. Should have signal pretty much the entire way. I got my new camera mount hooked up, and we'll see how it does on a bike ride. I've taken it on a hike before and it's done great, but a bike ride on a gravel, that's gonna be the true test. We are not that far in. Do you think we've done a mile? I don't think we've even done a mile, and I'm already like dead. I don't know, but this is all uphill we're doing. It's just a gradual uphill, and I think I just haven't drank enough water today or yesterday, so I'm feeling it. But we're gonna keep going, and I'm gonna not die. We're not overdo it, and we'll see how far we go, because it looks like, we just looked at the map, and it looks like it's gonna be more like 10 miles if we went all the way to where the trail ends. So we're on the Guild Trail, and then it turns into the Upper Truck Trail, and you can take that all the way down into Georgia, but it's on Lookout Mountain, and then it dead ends at a hiking only trail, so you just turn around and go back. And I think that's probably about 10 miles. We're just guessing based on the map, so that would be there and back. So like 5 miles out, 5 miles back, although it really looked like it was probably longer than that. So I don't know. I don't trust what the thing said. Because we're starting in Tennessee, going down into Georgia. A good length of Lookout Mountain, I don't think is 5 miles. I think it's more like 10. But we'll see. So I'm going to be measuring it with my watch, and we'll see how far we actually end up going. When we came hiking back on the video that's linked at the end of this one, this is the trail that we ended up on, that we came down back onto this trail and then went back to the trailhead. But we are continuing down this way. My phone messed up and I was filming wrong, So that is stressful. Anyways, sorry. Person riding a bike with their dog running beside them, like riding the bike. Looked very dangerous. Anyways, don't do that. She probably does it all the time, but she had a leash on the dog, and it did not look safe. The dog almost got run over a couple times. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so my phone is being dumb and recording video weird lately. So the last bit was in portrait instead of landscape, so that makes me mad. But yeah, I will have to show you. Basically, there's a fork back there. You go right at the fork, and that's about all you miss. And the trail's pretty, so that's pretty much it. But we are going to continue on now and see if we see any more snakes. Dead again. But anyways, this is literally like, it's all uphill. Actually, that right there is downhill a little bit. But we just came up that, and it's like, it's just a constant gradual uphill. There's like no breaks. And even though it's gradual, it's just like, it's uphill. So it's really exhausting. So I'm like trying to think, compared to like Raccoon Mountain, what I did that a while back, and I felt like that was easier, but I also might have been in better shape then. I don't know, because I was doing a lot more hiking then. I haven't been hiking in a while, so I am really wore out and not prepared for this. My body's like, what are you doing? Like, I thought we were sitting on the couch today. So, plus the heat and the humidity. It's not too bad in the shade. I am struggling. I really am. I don't know how much further we're gonna make it, honestly. We've only gone like 2 miles since the parking lot, so this sounds really pathetic, but uphill, all uphill, 2 miles uphill. I mean, plus it's really rocky. There's like, it's gravel and there's some good smooth spots, but there's a lot of rocks that you really need like extra energy to kind of push over. So yeah, this is not as easy of a trail as it looks. That's all I have to say. I'm liking this uphill downhill, it's a lot easier. That is gonna be terrible going back up. We're probably gonna walk up that one. We've gone over a couple like that, but this trail's gotten so much better. It's like up and down and stuff, and it's like actually fun now. Like, the first 2 miles of this trail are gradual uphill, painful, but we might make it to the end now with this. And then the beauty of it is those 2 miles at the beginning that were uphill, they'll be downhill on the way back. We'll get to coast to our cars. Like, I can't wait. Probably because I'm hungry and I'm looking forward to my lunch that's in my car. But that's beside the point. The point is, it's a tough beginning, but it's well worth it, I think. We're not there at like the end yet, but so far. So we're about to go down this. We don't want to have to come back up. We were going to turn around, but I looked at the map and I'm like, we're only like a couple miles from the end, I think. So we're going to keep going. We're going to make it to the end because doing this for you. Why come this far and not finish, right? So we'll be dead when we get back, but it'll be worth it. My friend's biking all the way up. I'm taking a break here halfway, as far as I made it. I'm pushing the bike the rest of the way up this one. We're not to the end yet. We're not headed back yet, but this will be nice on the way back. But uphill, I'm walking, so I don't want to overdo it. Still got like 5 miles to ride back, so yeah. I'm watching my friends struggle uphill. There's another uphill. Today, I'm calling this the hike and bike. Some bike riding, like maybe 90% of the time. We'll see at the end of this. And hiking with the bike, the other 10%, because these uphills, whew, and they're steep. Like on the way in was gradual, but this is steep. I don't know if you can tell, probably not. But this is a good grade for sure. Oh, even just hiking up this is difficult. So on a bike, no thank you. That's the beauty of this. You can push your bike and it's fine. Is it cheating? Maybe. Did I do this on Raccoon Mountain too? Most definitely. So, you know, I'm not a mountain biker. It's not what I do. This is just purely for fun and just to do something different, and I'm not the best at it. I'm not in shape for it. I also don't have the proper bike for it. So, you gotta cut me some slack, okay? I'm doing the best I can. But, oh goodness. Look at that. That's steep. It'll be fun going down, but oh. And we're not up yet. Like, she's struggling. She's doing better than me though. I can't push myself that hard. I definitely wouldn't make it back if I did. So, pacing yourself is key. Ah, I caught some leaves. How did that happen? Oh, I lost them. Oh goodness. It's so rough. So rough. Oh. We made it to the end where we have to turn around and go back, but see, upper truck trail, so we gotta go back. So we came in on, but Bluff Trail and Point Park are up that way. Point Park's really the way that we came from. That's why it says 4.7 miles. And then that ends up going up the bottom of the mountain. We're not really that far up the mountain right now, so actually, here's a map. Upper truck trail, you were here. We're gonna go that way. That's foot traffic only. Yeah, that's why I was going careful and walking. Don't be afraid to walk, because you do need to know your ability for this sort of thing. So it's a little bit, can be a bit much. What we rode on is considered like easy intermediate. So just put things in perspective. It could get really crazy, but we made it to the end. And we're at 4.28 miles. Plus, so I would say 4.5 miles. So it's probably like 9 miles round trip. I think that's what we did before I started my watch, probably. Maybe a little more. Between 9 and 10 miles round trip is what this is going to be. We're only halfway through now. And we get to go back. But the last 2 miles going back will be so nice because it'll be all downhill, just gradual, and we just get to coast. I can't wait. The rocks on this trail are probably the hardest part because they're just random. There'll be a smooth spots, and then all of a sudden there's like a ton of rocks, and if you're flying, it's like, I mean, you saw it. It gets pretty rough. But other than that, this trail is definitely not for the faint of heart. It is challenging, but it's not like super challenging. It's not straight up mountain biking. I didn't catch that on film, but we just did a big stretch of downhill that was super rocky, kind of like one that I showed you earlier on the way up there. One that I walked my bike up. This time I rode down because it was downhill. So rocky. My hands hurt. That's how rocky it is. The bouncing was crazy. And my phone mount for my bike does not like this trail. It keeps getting loose. Like, there's so many different pivot joints. I'm constantly having to re-tighten everything. And right now my phone was just like it wasn't going the direction it was supposed to be. So Probably a good thing I wasn't filming because you just would have seen the ground from the bike's, my point of view rather. So yeah, this thing, like, the screws will not stay tight on this trail because of all the rocks and the bumps. It's ridiculous. So give you an idea of how bumpy this trail is. Let's see. Oh goodness. Okay. I feel like that's good. I want it to be like that. Tighten that as far as I can. I keep having to tighten this one as well. This one keeps getting loose. And I mean, this thing is pretty well snug. Like, it's pretty well built, put together, but it is just not up to all these rocks. Whoa. That was super rocky. And this, my friends, is where we turn into the hike and bike, the hike portion of the hike and bike. So here's the fork that I missed on the way in, trying to film for you guys, but my phone was being stupid. So Guild Hardy Trail. So we just came from the right side of the fork. So when you reach this fork coming in, you know, you go right and left, you go right. So now that we're on our way back, when we're leaving, we go left to go back to our car, not right. So just something to keep in mind. We will officially be getting back on the Guild Trail, which is that way. And then what we were on was the Upper Truck Trail, so it actually goes both ways. This way takes you up the mountain. This is what I hiked before with my friends. This is the video that will be linked at the end of this one, is what's up this way and how the different trails you can go. There's a bunch of trails on this mountain. We're almost done. Like, I'm so dead. Both of us are both, like, our legs are just, they're done. But it's been downhill, and we both agreed that it is definitely easier coming back. So the back, like, I want to say the back 2/3 of this trail is ups and downs. The first third, almost half, really. Maybe it's more like half. Like, the back half of this trail is ups and downs. And going out, it feels like there's a lot of downs, but there are more ups and downs. Coming back, it's more downs than ups, so it's really fun. Very rocky though, very bumpy. My hands hurt for holding on the handlebars and then, like, doing this. Like, it's like the roughest thing I've ever ridden down, but it's so fun. And then going back, this last half we're about to do is going to be pretty much all downhill, so I'm looking really forward to it, and it should be a little less rocky, but we're almost done. Woo! I'm picking up speed. Woo. We made it back, and my bike's back in my car. As you can see, I'm very red. It's very hot. Yeah, that took longer than expected. It was more difficult than expected, but it was well worth it. You start that thing out and you're like, I don't think I can make it. I don't think this is a good idea. Why did I think that we could do this? Like, it wasn't super busy either. We ran into quite a few people, but it wasn't like packed. It wasn't like Raccoon Mountain. There weren't a bunch of bike riders. There was only, I only saw like a couple bike riders, honestly. Most people were just hiking. Saw a few hikers and then like a couple bike riders. Really weren't that many people. And so you kind of question, like, is this even like a good trail? Like, people aren't bike riding on this, but I feel like it is rough because of all the rocks and the gravel. Definitely. Like, my hands are so tore up from that. But other than that, like, I feel like that's almost like a good secret bike trail because it's not heavily traveled and it's great. It's a great workout starting out. And if you don't even want, we were talking about, like, if you don't even want to go 10 miles, because it was almost 10 miles round trip that we did. If you don't want to go that far, you can go, like, to that fork there. That fork is, like, 1.5 miles in and make it, like, a 3-mile round trip. Go up to that fork, and it's all uphill. But then the way back, it's all downhill. And I was coasting at, like, probably 15 miles an hour, it felt like. That entire way, I didn't have to ride the brakes or anything, and it's just... It's so fun. It's so beautiful. There's a lot more thrills at the back end for sure because there's steeper sections and more rocks and stuff, so it's more thrilling. But this front end is also thrilling just because of the speed that you can get up to, and it's smooth enough that you can go that fast if you're confident and comfortable with it. I definitely recommend this. This trail is, some people complain about it because there's no views. You saw there's like a couple cutout spots where you can see kind of a view, but that's about it. It's mostly wooded. And it's just a nice wooded trail. I think it's beautiful because I think the woods are beautiful. So if you enjoy just a nice walk in the woods and you don't need an amazing waterfall or an amazing overlook or whatever, like, this is a brilliant place to be. So I think it's worth it. We were talking about doing it again sometime, which sounds crazy right now because I'm exhausted, but I'm sure I will probably be doing this again. So if you want to watch the hike version, like I said before, it's going to be linked at the end of this video. We hiked up to that fork, but then we went left at the fork on the hike, and we hiked up to Sunset Rocks, so a bit different than what we did today. The blog post will also be linked down below if you want more information and see photos and stuff, and I'll have the routes, everything will be in that blog post for you to check out. So that's pretty much it. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see y'all next week.